Okay guys, looking at my ingredients, can you take a guess what I'm going to be making next? I have a cucumber, jalapeno, tomatillos, tomato, and an onion. Give you one guess. We're going to be making some salsa. This is actually going to be a smaller batch. I made a bigger batch earlier this year. This is just kind of to clean up what's left in my garden. Jalapenos, I lied, they're not from my garden. These are actually from the store. My jalapenos in my garden just did not go that well this year. But I have a whole bunch of tomatillos and a whole bunch of tomatoes. And I planted way too many cucumber plants. So I actually tried doing cucumber in my salsa and loved it. Adds just a very different dimension along with the tomatillos. It's just great. It's just making sure not to put too many jalapenos on there. But if it's a little too spicy, you can always cool it down with some cheese or some ranch dressing. My husband said he likes that, so that works well. But we're going to get all this stuff chopped up. I'm hoping that I can get maybe 2 or 3 quarts out of this. I'll see what happens after I get everything chopped. I was going to say the tomatoes or the tomatillos, if I have too many chopped to actually fill up enough jars, I'll just leave them chopped up and in the fridge, and I'll use them on top of salads. It's the nice thing. But alright, let's start here with the cucumber. I know a lot of recipes say to peel this stuff, but I didn't the first time I made it, and it didn't bother us whatsoever. So all I'm going to do is chop off the end pieces. See if my phone will stay. I don't have a nifty little stand or anything for it. I'm just going to chop off the ends, toss them to the side. They can get composted. And I'm just going to chop the cucumber. It's probably about 1/4 inch slice or whatever. You know what? I'll come back to you when I'm done with the cucumber. Alright, so let's get our tomatillos cut. Remember, as always, if you're working with a knife, be careful. I'm not worried about getting any of this cut super fine. I don't mind a little chunkier of salsa, so. If you don't have one of these for your kitchen, I severely suggest getting one. They're awesome for scooping up your cut anything. All I've got is bowls off to the side here that I'm putting all my stuff in. So. Let's get our onion chopped. Now, I'm using white onion. You can use yellow onion, red onion, sweet onion, whatever kind of onion you want. I just happen to have white onion on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. Now we will get our tomatoes cut. I'm going to cut this tomato so it's nice and kind of chunkier pieces here. and I'll do this with all my tomatoes. We're going to have this so it's a little more of a tomatillo base than a tomato base salsa here, so a little greener salsa. Yet again, these things are awesome. I refer to it as a pastry cutter, but I use it as a scraper more than I think I actually use it as it for its intended purpose. Which tends to be a normal thing for me. Half the time I don't use stuff as purposed. We'll get the rest of these tomatoes cut and then we'll be back with you. Okay, so we got the tomatoes all cut. Now it's time for the jalapenos. My biggest suggestion that I can do for jalapenos, always have a glove on. I technically suggest two, but for some reason I only had one left in the box. I don't like my jalapenos, or my salsa super spicy, and since the jalapeno body itself can have plenty of spice, I always deseed mine. Like my little yogurt jar. Putting everything in. But yeah. It's pretty much just core the jalapenos if you don't want a lot of spice. If you don't mind super spicy, go ahead and leave a few of the seeds in. I'd still suggest taking most of them out. Actually, I am going to set a few of these aside. Even your products that you get from your local markets, a lot of times you can save seeds out of those too. There, get this all cut. Okay, so we got the jalapenos sliced now. So let's get everything into the stock pot here. The tomato, the tomatillos, jalapenos, the cucumber, can't forget the onion. Okay, so we're gonna get some cilantro in here. And we're also gonna put in, okay, so we got the cilantro. And we're going to add some lemon juice as well. And we're just going to put this on a medium-low. Give it a good stir. We're going to let that heat up and simmer here. And then once it's done cooking, we'll get it canned, and then it'll be doing the water bath. There we go. We got our 2 jars of hot salsa that just finished coming to a boil, and then we let it simmer on the stove for 20 minutes. Got it ladled in, cap screwed on tight. Time to go into the water bath canner. So drop that down, make sure that the hot water, I usually always have a boiling teapot next to my water canner in case I need more additional water. So we'll get this dropped down, and that needs to process for 25 minutes. It won't matter if it goes for an extra 5 or 10, but we'll get that processing.